That's the graph of f of x equals 3x minus 2 with the graphs of its inverse, and then we'll do g of x as well. I'm going to ignore the second part right now. Just focus on your f of x. Okay, so just see if we can invert this. Let's figure out which one of these is f of x. So that says it's, I'll do this one in red. Oh, I guess I'll do it in purple. Hint, hint. So this one, I see I've got a y-intercept. A y-intercept at 0, -2. Now, even just that information right there is enough to see that I'm looking at this purple line right there, because it's the only line that shows a y-intercept of -2. So right off the bat, I can say that the original f of x function is the purple line. Now it doesn't want, with the graph as inverse, let's figure out what f inverse of x is. So let's look originally at f of x. So I'm going to show it as y. But again, this is my f of x function. It's showing as 3x minus 2. Now again, we would replace the y with x and the x with y. You can show the inverse there if you'd like. But at this point, we're just solving for our y value. So now I would add 2 to both sides. Ran out of space, but that'd be 2 plus x.
Wait, what's happening here?
Equals 3 times the inverse of y. And then we would divide all the terms by 3. So I end up with 2/3. Plus, I'm going to show this as 1/3 x. But you can say x over 3 if you like. That's my inverse function for y. So over here, my f inverse of f of x ends up being, I got it as 2/3 plus 1/3 x. Now, yeah, if you put this as 1/3 x plus 2/3, that's fine. So my y-intercept, right? We see our y-intercept there is 2/3 for my inverse function. It'd be at 0, 2/3. And again, the only line that has that has anything that looks like that would be the green one. And then you could say, well, then it goes up, what is it, up 1 to the right 3, and then up 1 to the right 3, up 1 to the right 3. That's fine. Either way, I see that inverse of f is the green line. So another way you could have done this, just with the information that's given, is since you know that the y-intercept of the original f of x was 0, -2, you know that the inverse function, it's not the y-intercept, but it would give you an x-intercept, because then you would have -2, 0. And it's showing that the green line also goes through -2, 0. So you could have just used the y-intercepts to determine the different lines. I thought it was good practice to go through this, though. On this one, for g of x, okay, so again, if we just look at the y-intercept, that should be enough to tell which of the lines is which. And this is showing a y-intercept of 0, 3, which is on the black line right there. So g of x is the black line. Now, of course, just from the order of the process of elimination, we now know that g inverse of x is red. But again, you could have said, well, I know my x-intercept then for my g inverse. My x-intercept would have been 3, 0, which the red line is showing right here.